Hello everyone, my name is Lisa Smart and I am an English instructor on the Corinth campus. Today I would like to go over with you the Grammarly workshop that we originally presented on February the 28th. I want to thank everyone that came. We had an excellent turnout, but I know there were a lot of you that did not have the chance to attend, so we also wanted to share with you what we talked about during that workshop in hopes that we can give you tools to make you a stronger and more confident writer. I know we could all benefit from that. So this Grammarly workshop was sponsored by the CRCM 2021 grant and the Robeson in Excellence Teaching Award. So I think the first thing that I wanted to visit with you all about is this idea of, the fear that we get when we sit down to write. I think we all think that we're the only person in the world that has these fears. We're the only one going through this. Everyone else must just surely know exactly what they're doing. And I can promise you that is not the case. Even myself, when I sat down to write, I always had that initial fear, that voice inside my head that's like, you don't know what you're doing. What if you mess up? What if other people notice your mistakes? You just get that fear and insecurity. I know for me personally too, if I put stuff off till the last minute, that big dragon of monster of procrastination that we all have, that we wait till the last minute. Sometimes my fear causes me to wait till the last minute, to be honest with you, or at least back in the day. I am a little bit better now with my writing, but I know that fear can be something that causes us to put stuff off. And sometimes I know that I'll wait till the last minute, and when we do that, we tend to rush. We're not quite familiar with the assignment instructions, with the parameters, or what our instructor expects of us. What we're expected to know. And I know that when I do spend time prepping and researching before I actually sit down and write, the more information I bring to the table, the more I arm myself with information and instructions and research, the more confident and better that I am. And also, certainly if I don't wait till the last minute. We often tend to tell ourselves over and over that we're just bad writers and that's the way it's going to be. But that's not always the case. Maybe we just haven't given ourselves enough time. We're not using the tools at our disposal. And, it's not like back in the old days when we had to take spelling tests. Now our technology does it for us. Now we don't have to give grammar tests because technology does it for us. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't know the rules and make yourself a better writer. I know Grammarly tells me all the time that I write in passive voice. It irritates me, I will tell you, but I'm working it out, and Grammarly and I are on better terms now that I have learned that. What's great about Grammarly is it teaches you as you are correcting your mistakes, and it tells you why you're doing the things that you are. A lot of us, I think, too, we just think writing is too hard. But we just somehow expect to overnight become a better writer. It's sort of like you don't just show up at the Super Bowl and be like, hey, I'm here, ready to play in the NFL, and you've never played football a day in your life. It's the same thing with writing. You have to practice in order to get better. That first time you turn in a paper and you're really proud of yourself because you've done really well, you've done the research, you've done the legwork, you have run it through Grammarly, and you're really proud of what you turn in and that grade that you earn, you're going to start overcoming those fears. I have this little illustration that I think is incredible. I think our fear of writing, or for me personally, my fear of doing math, is about like this dragon or this monster. But I love the saying is, fear is the brain's way of saying that there is something important for you to overcome. I've learned in life that when I fear something or I come up against something and I'm not comfortable with it and it makes me nervous and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to have to do that. I just face it head on, jump over that hurdle, and it's in my past and I move on. The first time you overcome the hurdle, you face that giant, you face that monster and you slay it, you're going to feel better. Each time you do, you're going to develop the confidence that you need. And writing is the same exact way. And I think that is what Grammarly is incredible about. I think that's what we want to give you as educators here at NCTC. All the tools are the armor that you need in your career, whether it is English, history, government, psychology, sociology, science, nursing, anything that you're going to be doing in your career and your future courses. This can be a benefit to you. Grammarly, I know, is something incredible. It takes so little time to use and figure out, if you will. I know when I get a paper from my students and it's formatted correctly, and I can tell that they've run it through a spell checker or that their grammar is good. To me, that speaks volumes about you. That is my first impression of your paper, of your ethos or your credibility. I think that is very important. If you turn in a paper, maybe it's a really great paper content-wise, but all I see is everything smushed together. You haven't followed formatting. You haven't properly cited your sources. My first impression, honestly, is not a good one. I'm thinking, wow, if they can't even double space their paper, I can't imagine what the rest of it's going to be like. So you want to put your best foot forward and give your best impression, because what you have to say is important. Your message, your research is important, and you want to give the best first impression. Honestly, I don't understand why students don't use Grammarly more or proofread. You really have nothing to lose but your grade. I use it for my work. Many of your instructors use Grammarly in their own work. So if we use it, why would you not use it as well? I know that I don't know everything there is to know about writing in the different audience and situations. And it takes very little time to polish, to amp up my paper or my email or essay that I'm writing, if you will. I always want to leave the best first impression. It has a robust spell checker. It's got excellent clarity that allows you to check your sentence structure, make sure you're saying things in the best way. You're not using 10 words when you could say something in 3 words. I think it is an incredible tool, and I'm going to go over that with you just a little bit, show you how to use it. Let's see here. Okay. So what I want to go over with you first is sometimes I'm going to do this new document first. If you have a document that, say, you have already typed, you've already got it formatted, you've typed it in Word or Google Docs or whatever, you can go here and you can choose to upload your document. It will then upload it in the format that you already have it in, with your page numbers, your paragraph, your works cited page, and then you can run it through Grammarly and make all the corrections. Once you're done with that, you will then choose download, and it will take your paper. Say you uploaded a paper called History of the Civil War. It will then name your paper History of the Civil War Edited. That way you know that's your corrected Grammarly paper, and it saves your format and everything. Sometimes it might be a discussion board and all you just want to do is cut and paste your document in here. I'm going to show you the demonstration of how Grammarly works. Here's the demo document, and it will just take you through how this works, how it's set up. What I want to show you too is the different types. This is where you go right here, your goals. This is where you go to adjust your goals, whether it's a general audience, knowledgeable, or expert. whether it's informal, neutral, formal. I think for an academic paper, I always like to do it at the highest. That's just my preference. Formal, and then down here, I'm always wanting, if it's an academic paper, I want to inform you basically in order to convince you. So you see I've adjusted my goals here. If you're writing creatively or informal, you can change those as well. I always have it checked to show goals when I start a new document, because every document I write could be different. It can have a different set of goals. So then that's done, and it will adjust right here to what I need it to be. As you notice, this isn't necessarily the grade you would make on your paper, but this is where your grammar and your style is. Grammar are those prescriptive rules like punctuation, spelling. They're set in stone pretty much. If you do style, that has more to do with clarity and the way that you say things. You know, you want to make things more concise, use fewer words. So if you can see here, you can go through things that are misspelled, and it will tell you this is misspelled. Again, you use the wrong spelling. You've spelt it with an E instead of an A. You can fix that. If you notice your score is always going up, it gives you a comma. It appears that you have an unnecessary comma and a compound subject. So it tells you why you're getting the grade that you are. It tells you if you have too many spaces after a period. It helps you to fix that. Right here again, it shows you that you need to add a word. You've left out the coordinating conjunction and explains this to you here. So again, you would correct that. Change the verb form. It doesn't need to be past tense but present. So that would be show. And now you can see that, oh wait, there's one more thing here. Instead of saying the sentence, you would say a sentence. So that has been corrected. So now you can look here and see that your correctness is good. Let's go back here. I'm just going to adjust knowledgeable, neutral. I'm just going to change it to this again, so it's not quite as stringent. So again, you can see that your correctness is good, which this has to do with your spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Then you can go down here for your clarity. I think this is so cool because it really helps you with your wordiness or things like that. So right here it says consider shortening the phrase. Instead of saying underlines that are in blue, you could just say blue underlines. You can just change it that way. Again, with wordiness, it shows you how to change this, an unnecessarily wordy sentence, into a sentence that is unnecessarily wordy. It takes words out for you. Possibly, you don't even need that in there. You can just completely take that word out. It gives you the option. You can check it yourself. You can do things like this. It just changes it. Again, shows you a way to make it less wordy. Also, there are other things down here that are more the premium edition, but as you can see, and I won't just keep going through this, but your score will go up and up and up. And you notice here that correctness and clarity are very good. It shows you, if you do your report, you can download your report, your word length, your sentence length. Is it readable? How long it would take to read this, things like that. So as you can see, this is very, very beneficial. I'm not going to spend forever going through this because it would just take me too long, but you do have a general idea of how this can look. I think it is an excellent tool. All you have to do is just set it up with, let's see, this demo document. You make sure, I think this is still the way. Let me just go through here. Again, everything looks good. This is if you go into Premier Edition, but anyway, so as you can see, Grammarly is definitely beneficial. It helps you to write more concise, more clear. Let me see here. Let me take some of this out. See, as you go here, because I took some of the word out. So it shows your overall score, because down here in this paragraph was showing the things that the Premier Edition would do. But as you notice now, when I took out all that stuff, your grammar is much better. You can tell your overall score performance. Grammarly is so easy to set up. It doesn't take that long. It's easy just to copy and paste things into there. And like I said, you can always upload things. You can download your corrected document. And it does not take any time at all to come in here and run your paper through Grammarly. I know I certainly appreciate it when students do. So we're working on it in all of my classes. I have all of my students use it. It's part of my course. We actually have things where you can upload your report of what your Grammarly looks like, or your paper before Grammarly and your paper after Grammarly, so you can see the improvements that you've made. Also, I know some people like to actually install Grammarly directly into Word. I like to just put my document into Grammarly, but this is really nice for students who work on their phones. If you have a phone and you're doing it, you know, I know a lot of you maybe type your papers on your phone, on your iPad. And like I said, I know some of our instructors, they put this directly into their Microsoft Word. So anyway, I hope this has been very useful, and I strongly recommend you using this to help you build your confidence, to build your ethos as a writer. Don't let these things hang you up. You all have the ability to be incredible writers, to write incredible research papers that you are so proud of. I think Grammarly sort of helps you get excited about writing. You don't have to beat yourself up when you start like, oh gosh, what if I put a punctuation in the wrong place? Just focus on your content. Grammarly will help you with the little technicalities here and there that allows you to present the absolute best paper that you can for your instructor. And I hope this has been helpful, and I wish you all the best.